terms of your test will be about 40 minutes all in all, about 45 at the most. And then in terms of your driving test, you drive fine.
Yeah.
You drive okay. Your driving is good. Your judgment call is good. Just make sure if you are stopping for whatever reason that you look past the first car when you're stopping.
Yeah.
Always look at the second and third, especially when you're approaching a roundabout.
Yeah.
No, I think you'll do okay. I think you're fine. I think, you know, at the most, maybe 4 minus. But make sure that you understand that it's not over till you come back.
Yeah.
And don't assume you failed. You
Yeah.
mustn't assume you failed. Because when we talk to you, we tell you how good or bad something is. We'll kind of dramatize it a little. They won't.
Yeah.
They'll factually mark you. So if you've affected somebody, fine. If you haven't affected anyone,
Yeah.
fine. Simple as that. And just because he's writing something on the iPad doesn't mean that you failed your test.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, he might be putting in the route that he's taking you on, the weather conditions, what maneuver he does. So, for example, when you're traveling along the road and he tells you to pull up on the left and do reverse park, he will mark on the sheet that he's going to reverse park with you.
Yeah.
Even if he's marking you down for a minor, it doesn't mean that you failed. You're allowed 15.
Yeah.
We say 5 because we try and keep our benchmark low, at high,
Yeah.
so your marking is low.
Yeah.
But you're allowed up to 15, so don't worry.
Yeah.
It's no stress. And I think you'll do okay. I don't think you'll struggle, to be fair. Just interested in this test going on. Let's see what he does. But I'll be surprised. But then again, if it's not affecting the wheel and it's okay, it'll take him out.
Yeah.
But you must make sure that whenever you're going for a test and whenever you're driving the car, that the wheel must be safe. The wheel must be in good condition. There mustn't be any, is it cuts or bulges? Or?
Cuts or bulges.
Yeah. So that's the tyre, but the rim, it needs to be safe. So let's say, for example, if that car bounces over a speed bump, it'll pop
Yeah.
because the rim's not big enough. You're very quiet in the back, aren't you? She's just watching me, do you know what I mean? I've done what she wanted me to do, so
Yeah.
I think she'll do okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine, don't worry.
And I've also pulled you in so it calms you down a lot. It's only a test. Even the actual test itself isn't hard. It's the fact that you're being tested.
Yeah.
The
Somebody
yeah.
staring at you, innit? Someone else talkative people.
Yeah. They're off for their early morning walk, I think. But they'll be going out in a few minutes now. Once they go out, you'll see that in terms of the route that they take them on a route that's relevant to the day that they're on. So it's like, as long as it's fine, as long as you're driving well, as long as you're
Yeah.
in control of your car, you shouldn't be worried. That's why, you know, when I take my pupils, I don't care where I go. When I do horses testing, I end up in Wetherby.
Yeah.
I don't mind where we go. Just drive the car. Once I actually bought something on Facebook Market an hour before his lesson just to see if he could drive there. Honestly, I bought a paintbrush.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, look, are you any good with sat-nav? And what did he say? He goes, I never tried it. I said, okay, let's try it now.
Yeah.
He goes, what have you done? I said, I've just bought a paintbrush and I need it. I said, the sat-nav said, go find it. And literally, we went up to Wetherby and we bought one. And then there's another lad, his top lad, never forget him. He didn't want to learn to drive, but he had to learn.
Yeah.
He had to learn because, look, you're not going to get a job in this society nowadays without a license. So, sat me in car. I said, and we were talking about food, which I normally do. I said, bro, I want some chips, man. And he goes, what? I went, you heard. I mean, I'm twice his age and I'm calling him bro. But anyway, just I wanted to kind of gel with him, if that makes sense. And I did. He actually enjoyed his lessons with me. I said, you know something, I'm starving, man. I need some chips. He goes, oh, there's a nice shop. And he lives in Horsforth. He lives literally at the back of the test centre.
Yeah.
I said, tell me a good chip shop. He goes, oh, there's this loads. Any other? I said, I live near Wetherby. Is any up there? He goes, oh, Wetherby, where? In Wetherby, over the bridge. I said, where's that? And he goes, it's over the bridge. I said, which bridge? He goes, there's a bridge up there in Wetherby. So what's it? Have you got any sort of signs there? He goes, yeah, there's a pub called this. Got my phone, Google the pub. I said, is this the place? He goes, yeah. I said, good. You're going to buy me some chips from there. And I said, do you know something? You got a 2-hour lesson.
Yeah.
So you can either get there in 10 minutes and you can have a driving lesson, or you can spend an hour Or you can spend 3 hours and you pay for another hour. He was up there in half an hour. We bought our chips. I bought him a bag.
Yeah.
We had our chips and we come down. And that was just to get him used to sat-nav. And that's one girl going out now. And he did remarkably well, considering it was the first time that he used sat-nav. He did really, really well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, sometimes it's not what you're doing that's hard. It's what you think of how hard it is. A driving test itself is not hard. It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, the driving test itself just means don't interfere with anyone's driving.
Yeah.
And don't let them interfere with yours and keep moving, sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, and you don't need 1 lesson, 2, 5, 10, 20, it just depends on the experience that you have. As long as you drive safe, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that's why some people you'll find that come from different countries, they find it a little hard. I'm going out and test now. Let's see. I don't know if it's me.
Who I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
It's like a lottery, innit?
Yeah. We'll see in a few moments, but I've got a funny feeling, maybe with that car park there, he can't see the wheel, but that wheel looks damaged to me.
Try to keep him to the front of the
Hi
car.
there. Yeah. Maybe it's one of his mates that's blocked the wheel, I don't know.
Yeah.
But these will all be gone very, very soon.
Really good shot. I think that's it.
We're getting ready for our driving test. We've got a driving test in half an hour, guys. I'm on YouTube Live now. I've come off TikTok. And he's looking round. Has he seen? Is he looking? Oh, God, he's looked. He's found it. Has he found it? Nope, he's gone round it.
Past it.
He's let it go. Maybe it's not damaged. Maybe it just looks damaged to me from here.
I think he's getting in.
Has he sat in?
I think so, yeah.
Well, if it reverses, if he starts the car, then we know it's fine.
Yeah.
But Janine Horsworth, they're very eager on that. If your car is, it stopped again.
Oh no, he's got back out. Can't go.
He's not. He's getting second advice. Yeah, that car's not going to go out, I think. The fact that, but it doesn't look like. Do you know what they do? Do you know the lip of the actual tyre?
Yeah.
If it's exposed, it's not going.
Yeah.
But if the lip of the tyre, do you know the bit that touches the rim?
Yeah.
If that's not exposed, they're not going to test. That will then. So watching now. Oh, I'm gonna. What's happening now?
That is good.
He's checking it. No, review mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that car's going out. So if the lip of the tyre is exposed, that will never go out. But if the lip of the tyre's not, and it's something, to be honest, you should have seen it. It's not
Yeah.
worth the risk. But yeah, it's completely fine. Anyway, they'll be going out on their test, and in terms of where they'll go go where the road takes them. You know, there's no
Yeah.
sort of like stipulation in terms of where. You know, they'll have a test route that they'll go on, and hopefully they'll do well and come back.
You do drive a little bit fast for all kids running around, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, when he's reversing out, he needs to watch out for these young children as well.
Yeah, that one's literally just playing
Yeah,
out loud.
yeah,
Down,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh dear.
God.
When he's reversing. Oh,
Oh,
mate.
God,
Oh,
don't.
Yep.
You fail, man.
Yeah. It's only the first sort of 10 minutes that are like really scary when you're on a test.
Yeah.
That's borderline. That is actually quite borderline. He's got away with it, it's fine. But whatever would fail an MOT would constitute not taking your car out on
Yeah.
test. I mean, he's got one brake light working as well.
Did they not shut your lights then?
I thought they would have, but man, you let it go, he's letting it go. See, I never understand that. Do you know, like with our cars, it's like they're scrutinised, whereas his car. But if that car deemed roadworthy, it's fine. He's gone out and testing, he's going to do it. He'll go out, do his driving test and come back.
Yeah.
In terms of hair rolls, you know, the only thing you need to, awkward. hurdles, awkward, same place. The only thing you need to watch out for are the junctions are narrow and your steering has to be quick.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Second thing you need to be worried about are sudden speed drops. So when you're driving the car, you're in a 20, make sure you are in your 20.
Yeah.
Especially when you think that you might be in a 30. Be very careful with that. The
Yeah.
only times it will change would be between near a school, like maybe 50 yards before a school, or at the end of the road,
Yeah.
or at the start of a roundabout. That's the only places usually where lanes change. Other
Yeah.
they don't change. Sorry, speed limits, that's where they change. So I don't think you'll struggle. I think you'll do okay. Just remember speed. If you think you're in a 20 and you think you're going into a 30, don't go over 20 until you know, till you are absolutely convinced you're in.
Yeah.
Then slowly build up your speed. Because if you go to 25, you think, I think 30, I'll do 25. If you're in a
Failed.
20, you failed.
Yeah.
So it's safer and easier to stay at a lower speed limit than it is to go to a higher speed limit.
Busy they are today. Oh.
They're nice cars. Fiat 500s. I kind of like that. And that ain't a Mini, that's a Maxi. Good
Yeah, I
size of
know.
car, you know. It's not a Mini at all anymore.
Oh God.
It's okay, driving instructor going into driving instructor's car. Not like a little bit of green on green. Whose fault was that then?
It was reversing out onto the road
And why
Should've-
would you say that?
because he's coming onto that. He's just getting on with his.
Would you not think it's a bit of both?
Well, yeah, he should have stopped, but
Okay, so should that car that was coming round the corner have slowed down because it was obscured by the white van, by the
Yeah.
blue van
yeah,
there? So it's, in terms of an insurance company claim, that would have been 50-50.
yeah,
Yes, the vehicle was reversing, but it wasn't moving. It was stood still.
exactly.
That
yeah.
car was coming around the corner too fast. Now, to go around the corner, do you think it was wiser to be on the right or on the left of the road?
Yeah, she should have come down here a bit
Yeah,
more.
and she would have seen it, and
Yeah.
she'd have had enough time to come to a gentle stop somewhere near the red car, as in this one over here, or the silver one.
Yeah,
But
and say it's a two-way road as well, so she wasn't wrong side
Yeah,
of the road.
she was on the wrong side of the road. Now, if that young lady, that little baby there, walked
Yeah.
into the road, you would have had a look.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that car park's literally there. Look, they're just running across.
Mm-hmm.
So the point I'm trying to make to you there was perhaps there's an element of two people at fault there.
Yeah,
So the girl should have been a little bit more, I think the driving instructor should have been a bit more aware of what was going on and made her pupil go slower.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we travel slower in car parks. Second reason, if you have an accident at above 10 miles, below 10 miles an hour, the impact to the car is minimal.
yeah,
The impact to the recipient, the person that's hit
Yeah.
the car, is minimal. Just maybe a little bruise. That's
Yeah.
it. They'll be fine. You won't hurt them. Whereas if you're traveling into the road and you're doing over 10 miles an hour, the car will absorb the impact. You know, you'll damage your car and you'll make a mess of the person.
Yeah.
You'll hurt them.
yeah,
You know, I'm not talking about unaliving them. You know, you're going far too slow for
Yeah.
that. But if you run over somebody that's quite old, they're frail.
yeah. There's a
It's
lot
an-
of broken
yeah,
bones there,
yeah.
isn't there?
Yeah. So what should have happened there was that the learner car should have been on the left of the road rather than
Yeah.
on the right. As close to the left as they could as they were going round the car park. That way they would have made sure it was safe. They would have carried on or stopped in good time.
Yeah,
Okay, so should we do a little bit of driving and then come back into the car park and get ready for a test?
Yeah.
Got about half an hour yet.
yeah.
Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's do some driving. Then when that test comes back in, we're the ones going after that test. Yeah, signal. Yeah, turn right here, it's fine.
Just watching, so I have a couple of kids running around, don't they?
And we'll then turn right at the car park.
Yeah.
Roundabout first exit.